Welcome back to our channel History Coins HD. As you that old as gold, but these Jefferson nickel 5-cent coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Coin number 1. Today we begin a deep and exciting journey into the world of United States of America rare coins. And this time our spotlight falls on one of the most talked about and surprisingly valuable pieces tucked away in millions of collections, the Jefferson nickel 1964 5-cent coin. Many collectors overlook this coin because it was minted in huge quantities, but hidden among those millions are extraordinary rarities, fascinating errors, and incredibly valuable varieties that every coin lover must understand. So sit back, relax, and listen carefully, because the story of the 1964 Jefferson nickel is far more thrilling than most people realize, and by the end of this video you might even find yourself rushing to check your own coin stash. The year 1964 marks a special period in American coinage. This was the time of the coin shortage, when the demand for circulating money was so high that the U.S. Mint produced an enormous amount of coins. But even in that flood of production, some coins slipped through with errors that transformed them from ordinary 5-cent coins into high-value treasures. And the 1964 nickel is famous for exactly that reason. Every collector knows that when mass production rises, so does the chance of minting mistakes, and in the case of this nickel, those mistakes turned into opportunities for collectors today. One of the most fascinating things about the 1964 Jefferson nickel is its connection to the beloved Monticello design. While most coins appear normal at first glance, rare variations hide in the details. Some coins carry a sharply struck Monticello with extremely crisp steps known as full steps, and these examples are the true gems that collectors absolutely chase. Finding a 1964 nickel with complete uninterrupted steps is extremely difficult, and that rarity is what sends its value skyrocketing. These full-step nickels are almost mythical because the mint was rushing production, and a rushed process does not usually produce perfect sharp strikes. That is why collectors today consider full-step strikes from 1964 to be among the scarcest modern nickel varieties, but the story doesn't end there. The 1964 Jefferson nickel has a long list of rare and valuable error coins. Some of the most exciting include off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned and part of the coin is blank. Another rare treasure is the double die, where parts of the date, letters, or Monticello appear doubled. These coins instantly stand out, and any collector who finds one knows they have something special. There are also die cracks, clipped planchets, and even repunched mint mark varieties where the letter D from Denver was stamped more than once. These small details may look simple, but in the world of numismatics they can transform a common coin into something incredibly desirable. Collectors love the 1964 nickel not only because of its history, but because it represents the thrill of discovery. It is the kind of coin that anyone might find in an old jar, a forgotten box, or a family collection without ever realizing the treasure they hold. This feeling of searching, learning, discovering, and maybe finding a rare variety is what keeps collectors motivated. It is why this coin has become one of the most researched and discussed 5-cent coins ever minted. So as you continue watching, imagine the excitement of uncovering a hidden rarity sitting quietly in your possession for years. Many people do not realize that this coin marks the final year before the mint removed the mint mark from nickels during the following years of production. That adds another layer of historical importance. And because so many coins were struck under pressure, the chances of finding valuable mint flaws are much higher than usual. That is exactly what makes this coin interesting for viewers and collectors who enjoy long deep dives into American numismatic history. Now let's talk about the part everyone is waiting for, the value. After all, collectors want to know exactly how much a special coin like the 1964 nickel can sell for in today's real market. At the lower end, a regular circulated example might not be worth much more than face value, but the moment you find one with full steps, sharp details, or a dramatic error, the value increases instantly. Some rare full-step varieties have sold for hundreds and even thousands. And at major auctions, top-graded full-step nickels have reached impressive prices, showing once again that even a simple 5-cent coin can transform into a high-value collectible when rarity, condition, and demand come together. The real market price for a valuable full-step or era 1964 nickel can reach hundreds of dollars, and top-condition examples have sold for several thousands in major auctions. Coin number 2. We are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins hiding in American change, the United States of America rare Jefferson nickel 1971 D 5-cent coin. This coin may look simple at first glance, but behind its ordinary appearance is a world of hidden rarity, untold stories, unexpected errors, and incredible value that many collectors still overlook. So stay with me from start to end, because this journey will not only help you understand why this coin matters, but it may even help you discover a treasure sitting right inside your own collection. Listen carefully, enjoy every moment, and let the world of American numismatics unfold before you. The year 1971 was a very interesting time for U.S. mint production. The Denver Mint was working at a rapid pace, striking millions of coins to meet the country's circulation needs. And whenever production increases, the chance for minting mistakes becomes higher, which is exactly why the 1971 D Jefferson nickel has gained so much attention. Collectors realized long ago that this coin carries several rare varieties and errors that can turn an ordinary nickel into a valuable collectible. These small details, often invisible to people who don't look closely, make this coin exciting for every coin lover. One of the biggest reasons the 1971 D nickel attracts so much interest is the full steps rarity. A full steps nickel means the steps on Monticello appear completely sharp, distinct, and uninterrupted. Finding a 1971 Denver strike with full steps is extremely difficult because the dies used that year were heavily worn. Many coins show weak strikes, soft details, and blurred steps. So when a coin exists with perfect clarity, it instantly becomes a treasure. Few collectors will ever find a high-grade full steps example, and that scarcity is what raises the value dramatically, but full steps are only one part of the story. The true excitement comes from the variety of mint errors found on this coin. Imagine opening a small coin bag and discovering a 1971 D nickel with an off-center strike that shifts the entire design to one side. Or a dramatic die crack running across Jefferson's portrait. Or a doubled die showing slight doubling on letters like Liberty or the date. These are the kinds of discoveries that make collectors feel a rush of adrenaline because each error tells a story of how the minting process faltered for just a moment, leaving behind a unique piece of history. Some collectors have also found repunched mint mark varieties on the 1971 D nickel. In the early 70s, mint marks were still hand-punched into the die, and if the engraver struck the D slightly off and corrected it, the result could create a valuable RPM variety. These varieties may seem minor, but the hobby places enormous value on them because they preserve a moment of minting craftsmanship. Every tiny imperfection becomes a window into how coins were made at the Denver Mint during that era. Another factor that makes the 1971 D nickel more special is that the Jefferson nickel series does not often produce high rarity spikes. But this year stands out sharply. Many collectors have spent countless hours searching through rolls, jars, and family collections, hoping to uncover even a single full-step example or major error. Because this coin is not composed of silver or precious metal, the value depends entirely on rarity, condition, and uniqueness. And that's exactly why it's such a thrilling chase. Anyone could have this coin sitting quietly in a drawer without realizing its potential value. The 1971 D Jefferson nickel has become a favorite not only for experienced collectors but also for newcomers who are just discovering the excitement of coin hunting. Its story is alive with mystery, risk, discovery, and reward. It represents that magical feeling when a collector picks up a coin that others ignored for decades and suddenly realizes they are holding something truly rare. This is why people love this series. This is why numismatists never stop looking. And this is why today we are giving this coin the attention it deserves. The structure of the design itself makes the search more captivating. Jefferson's portrait carries subtle textures that reveal striking issues. The Monticello reverse is full of delicate lines that either show strong detail or weak washed-out surfaces. And every slight difference contains clues. It's almost like solving a beautiful puzzle every time you examine a 1971D nickel under a coin loop. Every line, every number, every crack could mean the difference between a simple nickel and a rare piece worth far more. And now let's talk about the real market value and auction value that collectors want to know. A standard circulated 1971D nickel is generally worth its face value, but once you find a mint error, full steps variety, or a high-grade uncirculated example, the price jumps. Real market price for rare error coins and sharp full step examples can reach hundreds of dollars, and some of the finest coins certified by top grading companies have sold at auction for thousands of dollars. Coin number 3. We begin a fascinating journey into the world of American numismatics, where even the most ordinary-looking coins can hide incredible stories, unexpected rarities, and surprising value. And today our spotlight shines on the United States of America rare Jefferson nickel 1974 5-cent coin, a coin that millions of people have held in their hands without ever realizing the hidden treasure that may be sitting inside their pocket change or collections. So sit back, listen carefully, and enjoy this long, captivating exploration made especially for coin lovers who appreciate every small detail of history and rarity. The 1974 Jefferson nickel may seem simple at first, but nothing about this coin is actually simple. This was a year when the U.S. Mint was perfecting new methods, adjusting machinery, and working under pressure to meet the growing demand for circulating coins. And whenever mint pressure rises, mistakes, anomalies, and rare varieties naturally begin to appear. That is exactly what makes the 1974 nickel so exciting for collectors. It is one of those coins where the more you look, the more you find, and the deeper you search, the more you realize how much hidden value exists beneath the surface. The design of the Jefferson nickel itself is a masterpiece that has fascinated collectors for generations. On the obverse, the portrait of Thomas Jefferson carries subtle curves and delicate details that reveal every weakness of a worn die. On the reverse, the Monticello building is filled with tiny architectural lines that require a perfect strike to appear clearly. And that is where the rarity begins. In most 1974 nickels, the steps of Monticello appear soft, blurred, or completely merged. But when a coin shows sharp and uninterrupted steps, collectors call it a full steps nickel. And finding a true full steps 1974 nickel is extremely difficult. These coins are the stars of the series because they prove the strike was exceptionally strong and well preserved. Such coins can turn a regular 5-cent coin into a valuable collectible, but step sharpness is only the beginning. What truly excites collectors are the mint errors that turned ordinary coins into attention-grabbing rarities. Some of the most dramatic 1974 nickel errors include off-center strikes where part of the design is missing, giving the coin a strong visual impact. There are also double die errors, where small doubling can be seen on letters like Liberty or In God We Trust, making those examples especially desirable. Other coins reveal die cracks that look like raised lines across Jefferson's portrait or across the Monticello dome. And let's not forget clipped planchet errors, where a small curved section is missing from the edge of the coin because of a misfeed during the minting process. These little mistakes are not flaws to collectors. They are treasures. Each one tells its own story, capturing a moment when the mint machinery skipped a beat, pressed too hard, or misaligned a die. These imperfections survived the minting process, circulated through the hands of thousands, or sometimes never left coin bags at all. And for collectors, this is exactly what makes them special. The thrill of discovering a rare 1974 nickel error in an old jar or a coin roll is one of the reasons people love this hobby so deeply. Another interesting detail about the 1974 nickel is that it marks a period in American history where industrial transition was taking place behind the scenes. The mint was experimenting with die preparation, punch techniques, and quality control improvements, which created a wide spectrum of strike qualities. Some coins appear extremely weak, while a very small number appear incredibly sharp. This range adds excitement because collectors are constantly searching for that perfect example that stands out from the rest. For coin lovers who appreciate rarity, this coin is a perfect playground. It encourages observation, patience, and discovery. Every coin must be checked under magnification. Every detail must be studied. And that commitment to careful searching is what keeps this coin alive in the numismatic world. Even beginners find themselves drawn to the challenge of locating a full step or error example, and experienced collectors know that high-grade nickels from the 70s are not easy to find. The story becomes even more interesting when we examine the market value. The 1974 Jefferson nickel in average circulation is worth only a few cents, but once you uncover a rare error coin, a dramatic off-center strike, a strong double die, or a genuine full steps example in high grade, the value increases immediately. Collectors pay strong premiums for coins that display rarity, beauty, and uniqueness. And through the years, many of the finest 1974 nickels certified by major grading companies have surprised collectors with impressive selling prices. Now we reach the part every viewer waits for: the real market price and auction value. A rare full steps 1974 nickel in high grade can reach hundreds of dollars in the real market, and some of the finest examples with top certification have sold at major auctions for several thousands of dollars. Coin number 4. We are diving deep into the world of hidden treasures inside American pocket change, and this time our journey brings us to a coin that millions of people have touched without ever realizing its surprising potential value. This is the story of the United States of America rare Jefferson nickel 1975 5-cent coin, a coin full of mystery, rarity, errors, and unexpected worth. So settle in, listen carefully, and enjoy this extra-long exploration designed especially for coin lovers who enjoy every detail of history and discovery. The 1975 Denver minted Jefferson nickel may appear plain at first, but as every serious collector knows, the most ordinary-looking coins often hide the most extraordinary surprises. The Denver Mint was operating at high capacity during this era, producing millions of coins to meet the growing demand for everyday transactions. And when production speed increases, hidden minting flaws begin to appear. These flaws, these imperfections, these tiny slips in machinery, are exactly what transform the 1975 nickel into a coin full of rare possibilities. On the obverse, the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson reveals the quality of the strike. In many coins, his cheek and hair appear soft because the dies used that year sometimes lost sharpness. On the reverse, the Monticello building stands proudly, but this, too, is where the rarity hides. Only a tiny number of 1975 nickels show sharp, clear uninterrupted steps on Monticello. These are what collectors call full steps examples, and they are among the rarest and most desirable coins of the year. Because most Denver strikes were weak, a full steps version stands out like a shining jewel. Collectors hunt these coins endlessly because the combination of high grade and full steps is extremely hard to find for this date, but the story of this coin becomes even more exciting when we look at the wide range of mint errors discovered among 1975 nickels. Imagine finding a coin where the design is struck off-center, with part of the rim missing and Jefferson pushed sideways across the surface. Off-center strikes can make the coin instantly valuable depending on how dramatic the shift is. Then there are double die varieties where a slight doubling appears on numbers, letters, or parts of the Monticello building. These double areas create a visual effect that collectors love, especially when the doubling is bold enough to see without magnification. Some 1975 nickels also show die cracks, raised lines caused by splitting dies during production. These lines may run across Jefferson's face, through his hair, or across the Monticello dome. Each one is unique, and collectors often pay strong premiums for dramatic die cracks because they look visually attractive and serve as historical evidence of the minting process. There are also clipped planchet errors where a curved section is missing from the edge of the coin because the metal sheet shifted before punching. These rare shapes make the coin instantly identifiable and very collectible. Another fascinating detail is repunched mint marks. In 1975, mint marks were still hand-punched into the die. If the engraver accidentally placed the D slightly off target and corrected it, the result becomes a repunched mint mark, a highly collectible variety because it reflects the human touch of minting history. These RPM varieties are extremely interesting to collectors because they represent a small moment of craftsmanship captured forever in metal. This coin's appeal also comes from its historical context. The mid-70s were a time when the U.S. cement was transitioning toward more modern production techniques. As machinery changed and new die preparation methods were tested, the differences in strike quality became more noticeable. Some coins came out weak, others strong, and only a few were perfect. This variation adds a thrilling challenge for collectors because every 1975D nickel holds the possibility of being one of the rare sharp strikes. For coin lovers, this coin offers a perfect mix of mystery, rarity, and excitement. It encourages you to examine every detail closely, to look for hidden clues, to explore small imperfections, and to appreciate the beauty of minting history. Whether it's the shine of an uncirculated example, the boldness of a doubled die, the uniqueness of a dramatic off-center strike, or the perfection of full steps, every collector feels the rush of discovery when holding a 1975D nickel. The best part is that many of these hidden rarities are still waiting to be found. They may be sitting inside old jars, mixed in with pocket change, or tucked away in family collections. That's why this coin remains one of the most exciting 5-cent coins from the 70s. The potential treasure is real, the thrill is real, and the rewards are absolutely real. Now let's talk about the real market value and auction value that collectors always wait for. A rare full steps 1975D nickel in high grade can reach hundreds of dollars in today's real market, and the finest known examples with top professional certification have sold at major auctions for several thousands of dollars. Coin number 5. We explore one of the most overlooked yet surprisingly fascinating coins hiding in modern American pocket change, the United States of America rare Jefferson nickel 1996 5-cent coin. Many collectors underestimate modern nickels, believing only old dates hold value, but the truth is that some of the rarest errors, strongest strikes, and most unexpected discoveries come from years just like 1996. So stay with me, listen carefully, and enjoy this long, attractive, and deeply interesting journey into a coin that may be sitting in your collection right now without you even knowing its true worth. At first glance, the 1996p nickel seems ordinary. Millions were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, and it circulated everywhere, from grocery stores to gas stations, from family piggy banks to pocket wallets. But hidden among these millions are coins that stand out because of striking quality, dramatic errors, rare varieties, and the unpredictable charm that makes modern coins exciting for collectors. This is the kind of coin that proves rarity does not always come from age, sometimes it comes from mistakes, sharp details, or unique mint conditions. The design of the Jefferson nickel has always fascinated coin lovers. The portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse is full of curves and shadows that reveal how well the coin was struck. In most 1996p nickels, the details appear soft because the dies were used heavily. But a small number show incredibly sharp details. These are the coins collectors love to chase because high-grade modern nickels with perfect surfaces are surprisingly hard to find. Many coins were tossed in change, scratched, dented, or worn, and only a very tiny number survived in pristine condition. Then comes the Monticello building on the reverse. The steps of Monticello are a key indicator of strike quality, and collectors search for full steps examples. A full steps 1996p nickel means that every step line is clear, uninterrupted, and perfectly visible. Because the Philadelphia Mint did not produce many strong strikes that year, finding a true full steps example is a challenge. This suddenly transforms the 1996p nickel from a common 5-cent piece into a potential treasure, but the real excitement of this coin comes from its mint errors. Modern minting machinery is fast, powerful, and precise, but no machine is perfect. And in 1996, some fascinating mint errors slipped through. There are off-center strikes where Jefferson's portrait is shifted dramatically to one side, leaving a blank crescent of metal on the opposite edge. These off-center coins grab instant attention because each one is unique and very collectible. There are also double die varieties where small doubling appears on letters of Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or the date. Some examples of the 1996p nickel show doubling strong enough for collectors to spot easily under magnification. These doubled die errors are especially valuable because they represent a flaw at the die level, meaning every coin struck by that die would carry the same fascinating doubling effect. Another rare discovery in the 1996p nickel series involves die cracks. These raised lines occur when the die itself fractures. A dramatic die crack running across Jefferson's forehead, cheek, or neck becomes a collectible variety instantly. Some cracks on the reverse run across Monticello's dome or down its columns, creating unique and visually striking patterns that collectors absolutely love. Even more interesting are the clipped planchet errors, where a portion of the coin's rim is missing due to an incorrect cut in the metal sheet. These curved clips or straight clips make the coin extremely distinctive. Every clipped planchet example becomes a conversation starter because it shows the exact moment the minting process misaligned. The 1996 P nickel also includes late-stage die deterioration errors where the metal begins to flow outward, creating thick, swollen letters and distorted features. These coins may look unusual, but collectors appreciate them because they show the aging of tools within the minting process. What makes this coin even more exciting is that it belongs to the modern era, meaning millions of people still have a chance to find valuable examples in everyday circulation. Many collectors overlook the 1996 P nickel because it feels too modern to be rare. But that mindset is exactly why treasures remain hidden. Full steps examples, dramatic mint errors, perfectly preserved high-grade coins and double die varieties are still waiting in jars, drawers and coin rolls across America. Collectors love this coin because it represents the thrill of possibility. It reminds them that treasure hunting is not only about old coins, it is about sharp eyes, careful searching and appreciating the small differences that most people ignore. The 1996 P nickel brings a fresh sense of excitement to modern numismatics and keeps collectors engaged year after year. And now we reach the part every viewer waits for: the value. A rare high-grade 1996 P nickel with full steps or a strong mint error can reach hundreds of dollars in the real market, and the finest known examples with top professional certification have sold at major auctions for several thousands of dollars.